And so there is this nice link between the two tools, the StageGate and the structured innovation tools. And I think this is because they're both processes that you go through, whereas the deployment and assessment tools are calculating metrics or generating a design. So there's a bit of similarity there between the two tools, and hopefully the audience can see that now. And so what we're going to do is move on to our last feature of the StageGate tool, which is the report export. You can see on the left-hand side there in the diagram. And so this is where once you've completed your StageGate assessment, you can then click a button to generate a PDF report which summarises all of your inputs and outputs, or as Ben will demonstrate, as many of your inputs and outputs as you would like to show. So there's a bit of flexibility there. So I'll pass on to Ben for that demonstration.
Thanks, Jillian. So here's the homepage of the study we've been working on again. And the final feature we're going to show, as Jillian said, is the report export. So you click into that feature with this button. And what the input page for this looks like is simply another set of checkboxes just for the user to select which section they'd like to include in the report that's going to be generated. So again, just to reiterate, these checkboxes would not be enabled if the user hadn't completed the relevant sections. So to begin with, let's just say we want the summary of the checklist results alongside a detailed breakdown of the stage results. And depending on which boxes you tick in this Explorer tree, you might be asked for additional information. So because we clicked the detailed breakdown of stage results, we then have to specify which stage you want to show. So continuing on with the same example, let's go with stage 2. And then the user would click this generate report button. There'll be a quick loading screen followed by the report getting downloaded to whichever browser you're using. So, and it will be in your downloads folder. So if we open up that report, so we just have a quick look at it. It's the summary report. It's got the name of the study that we're working on, the tutorial example, version of the tool, and the date. And then this table of contents is just a reproduction of those boxes, which boxes you just ticked. So we've got the summary and the detailed breakdown. Quick introduction into what the report contains, some summary details on the study, and then the sections we've requested. So the summary results, the checklist results for showing stage 0 and stage 1 are having been fully completed, and stage 2 21% complete. And then moving on to the detailed results for stage 2, you get 2 bar charts showing the progress. So firstly, the activity category. If you remember, we only selected numerical modeling, and that's 100% complete with everything else being 0. And then 1 for the evaluation areas. So if I close this report again, and that's the end of that particular example. So if we close that and say, okay, let's now have a look at, we don't want those results anymore. We want to include the summary of the applicant mode, and let's include the metric results, and let's also include the improvement areas, just the other thing we've shown today. And so because of the selections there, we get asked for a few more bits of information. So because we want the metric results and the summary of the applicant mode, we need to select the StageGate we want to use. So the only one that is enabled is StageGate 1 to 2, and that's because it's the only one we've submitted in this particular example. So we'll use StageGate 1 to 2, we'll use stage 2, and we'll leave the improvement area threshold as the default 50%. And then we'll click the generate report button. Again, a quick loading screen, and the report should be downloaded. So if we open that up, we'll have a look that now the report is slightly different with now we've got the applicant mode summary, metric results, and improvement areas. So it gives you the response rate for StageGate 1 to 2, as well as the threshold success rate. And it also shows the tabular metric results with which in this example have had thresholds set for 3 of them, and I've only provided 3 example results as well. So in the case of the jobs created metric, which is down here at the bottom, it also calculates the absolute distance or difference between the result and the threshold, as well as the relative percentage difference. And then moving on to, we also asked for their improvement areas. So there's a bit of text explaining again how each of these scores and the average score is calculated, followed by the table that we showed in the previous demo, cut off at 50%, which we selected from the GUI. And that's the end of that particular report.